Hello, YouTube. Today I want to tell you about a very interesting episode in the history of the Soviet space exploration, which was virtually unknown in the Soviet Union, definitely when I lived there, and I think for a number of years later. Only during the perestroika, some of the interesting things came out, and you can see them in my videos about cosmonauts. But today I want to speak about the phantom cosmonauts. The first test team was formed long before the first cosmonaut squad or squadron was created. Back in 1952, a government decree was issued on the creation of a special team for testing spacesuits and solving other issues related to the work of aircraft crews with high velocities and altitudes. Yuri Zaitsev, the author of the digest The Difficult Road to Space, considers June 30, 1953 to be the date of the birth of the ground cosmonauts detachment. It was then that the commander-in-chief of the USSR Air Force signed an order to create a test team at the State Research Institute of Military Medicine. The head of the detachment was Lieutenant Colonel of the Medical Service Evgeny Karpov, who later took the position of head of the Cosmonaut Training Center. The rest of the squad, that is, the testers themselves, were recruited from various parts of the Air Force. Young pilots voluntarily agreed to experiments without even knowing what they were doing. All testers, as well as those who, for one reason or another, were not accepted into the squad, gave a signed oath of non-disclosure of information. Therefore, they are also called phantom cosmonauts. It is not surprising that only a few people in the Soviet Union knew the names of these heroes. However, subsequently, some of the names of the members of the first test squad still became known to the general public. For example, as he writes in his book Secret Space, Alexander Zheleznyakov, today it is known for sure that Sergei Pavlovich Nefedov was included in the first group of testers. It was he who tested the cosmonauts' life support systems and means of rescue. Also, Nefedov, who turned out to be the hardiest in the Phantom squad, was the first to go to the laboratory of weightlessness and the predecessor of the space suit in which Yuri Gagarin flew into space was soon on him, so to say. However, these ground cosmonauts, as they were called, tested not only the equipment but also the capabilities of the human body. And you know what? As such, all space exploration, whether in the United States, in China, elsewhere, they owe something to these brave people too, because it's humanity that needs to get into outer space, not humanity divided by borders. Anyway, Sergei Nefedov was launched to the height of 15 kilometers in an oxygen mask. He experienced critical overload on a centrifuge and spent a month in the so-called mute chamber. According to Zheleznyakov, the Americans basically assured or were certain that a person could not withstand the latter for more than 15 days. Well, specialists simulated various emergency situations for the testers. Once Nefedov stayed at a temperature of minus 60 Celsius for 3 days. Thus, experts checked the reliability of the spacesuit. Simulating depressurization, Sergei Pavlovich was placed in a capsule for 7 days, located at an altitude of 50 kilometers. In addition to Sergei Nefedov, the main names of other testers are now known. For example, Alexei Kochur, Alexei Belokony, Ivan Grachov, Vladimir Zavadovsky, Gennady Mikhailov, Maria Gromova, Alexei Lidovsky, Evgeny Kiryushin, Vladimir Tsvetov, Viktor Kostin, Andrei Mitkov, Sergei Shiborin. And he cites many of these names and surnames in his book Guests from Outer Space, Evidence, Proof and Investigations. Igor Prokopenko. It is noteworthy that some phantoms, so to say, who were considered dead later turned out to be alive. This was due to the secrecy of their work. In 1997, Kostin, Tsvetov, Nefedov, and Kiryushin were even awarded the title and the honor being the hero of Russia. Although, in fact, there are many more invisible heroes, so to say. According to Yuri Zaitsev, the number of the ground cosmonaut squad varied from 10 to 80 people in different years. The total number of testers for the entire time of space exploration reaches 1,000. If we talk about the number of experiments conducted, which included testing the first spacesuits, catapults, being in pressure chambers and centrifuges, and many other dangerous experiments, then their account, according to some data, is already in the tens of thousands. The detachment of the ground cosmonauts exists at the present time too. According to Zaitsev, it includes 10 volunteers. Now, just imagine what we do not know. So this is what I wanted to share with you. As you know, I bring you interesting information about Soviet and Russian cosmonauts and their testimonies, especially very interesting about, I don't want to say unusual, I want to say eerie phenomena they experience in outer space. And I am very proud of my work. I think you will like my videos. If you go into the playlist, you will find them. So if you like my research, please subscribe to my channel. Please tell others about my channel. And please like my videos. Thank you very much for your attention to my work.